Welcome pool fans. This match is brought to you by Longoni Cues. Billiard Network presents another cracking match, this time between, myself, Niels Feijen, and Wiktor Zielinski. This match is from the Euro Tour in Austria, recently 2022. The match starts in the second rack. Wiktor had an illegal break. I had a look at it. I was trying to figure out if there was a safety option, if I could maybe roll behind that 7 ball directly with the cue ball. But the 2 ball would get too much speed, very risky shot. Playing it thin on the right side of the 2 as we see it would also be very risky. The 9 ball and the 6 ball could come into play. So in my mind I was thinking, you know what, let Wiktor have a go at this, either push out or play his safety shot. And this is not an easy one. He's looking to push out to the middle diamond and then perhaps bank the 2 towards the 9 and send the cue ball back up table. This is very tricky. You could also bank the 2 straight between the 4 and 6, sending it towards the 6, so 3 rails to that 3rd diamond there by the side pocket, then between the 4 and 9, and then off of 2 rails towards the 6, and then use the 6-9 as blockers. That might not be a bad shot, but he's not doing that. He's taking another option. So he's putting me back kind of in the same position. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm gonna say, Vic, have a go at this. This is almost the same spot I was just in. I don't see anything really productive here. So I'm kind of curious what he has in mind. From the angle that he has now, potentially he could roll it behind the 7 and shoot the 2 into the 4. Maybe even try to make it here in the lower left corner. The 3's hanging over the hole. That wouldn't be a crazy shot, but the speed is very hard to manage. Let's see what I have in mind. This is a few months ago now. 2 months ago. So I played the shot in between the 4-9 and playing it with good speed to not send the cue ball all the way down, but to use those balls as a wall of blockers. That's always a good tip, pool fans. If you have those rows of balls there after the break, like this 4, 6, 9, those safety shots, long rail, so side rail can be very effective. Wiktor hit that way too thin. He tried to separate the balls, send the 2 into the kitchen off the rail and put the cue ball back underneath those balls. Caught it too thin. The spin didn't really grab. So that safety created a ball in hand situation now. Pocketing the 2 and then the 3 is not the big thing. It's all about getting to the middle of the table for the 4. So the decision here is, do you try to get straight in on the 3 and just draw it back? Or do you want to play it off the rail? This is very much personal preference. What you can also do here, if you don't really fancy drawing this ball and getting snookered behind the 9, you could play it towards the rail here, kind of towards the middle diamond with a little bit of right spin and play towards the 7. However, you could be frozen on the rail, you could be straight in, so a lot of risk there. But that is what I'm playing. I didn't really fancy the other one. And looking back on this shot, I don't know if I'm too happy with this outcome. Sometimes on the big screen like this after the match, or the bigger picture, it's way easier to see all these angles than when you're actually down there, when the pressure's on. And sometimes your mind can play a little trick on you. I'm straight in on this shot, so the only option I have is just to roll past the 6-9, leave myself an angle on the 5 to now use the bottom rail there by the 8 and bounce back out towards the right side pocket and then give myself a shot on the 6. So this is a big tester on the second game. I'm 1-0 down. Didn't play the greatest shape from the 3 to the 4. It leaves me with a tougher 5. Stayed down nice on that one. Bit straight in on the 6. A little more or a little less angle than I had anticipated. So I have a couple of options. You can play this one rail forward in between the 7-9 and back up. You can draw it off the rail, but the cushions are playing fairly bouncy, so that one rail up is actually the most secure play there. Once again, bit funny angle. I think I can draw this with a lot of right spin. Don't have to cross over, can stay on the same side of the table. Just past the side pocket there, towards the 8, and now I'm back in position. See, with that shot you're coming into the angle. Crossing over to the other side rail, you really have to hit it hard. And this one was not that tough with a lot of spin. That shot there, I always prefer to go 2 rails, also because I'm coming into the line of position. If I would play it 1 rail up, I only have a small margin there to land great. And by using that second rail on that shot, it gives me a higher percentage of position play. Score 1-1. The break nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, on the Euro Tour, I think between the good players is at least 50% of the match. Illegal break there, made the one in the side. The corner ball didn't drop. Got a lot of action, but balls were kissing each other out of the way. So I'm giving the momentum back to Wiktor Zielinski. Kind of straight in here on this 2. Can't do much with it but roll it forward. He's looking either to play the 3-4 combo or try to squeeze the 3 past the 4. Just enough to get his hand comfortably around that 6. Playing for the combination. Woo! Hit that awfully thin. Nicely done though. Here, with low left, you can draw past the side towards that 3rd diamond, and then you're coming into great position for the 5. Remember always to put enough spin on these balls. It's better to hit them with a little bit too much spin. Don't know what really happened there. I think he almost touched the 9 with his cue, kind of spooked him. See, it's better there to put a bit too much spin on that one and come a hair lower than to scratch in the side. So that's a big little inside sneaky tip. We've all done that where you underhit it, or maybe you got bouncy rails and you have to hit it real delicate and you forget to put enough side on it. Boom, cue ball on the side. Look how bouncy that rail's playing. Came up much more than he wanted. Leaves himself a thin cut in the side. The only really good thing about this, if he makes it, he's going 3 rails around and naturally almost to where he is now. 1, 2, 3. That's almost where he was. Now he can play a nice stop shot. Maybe draw it back about a ball. Just roll the 8 in. And Wiktor's a very, very rhythm style player. Plays with a lot of feel when he gets going. He's lethal. Great shot maker, great break. He's been spending some time in the United States. working on his skills. Safety play has improved. He's maturing, and he's had a lot of nice success, both on the Euro Tour and also recently in Las Vegas, winning the big 10-ball tournament there. And also currently being in the top 4 in Europe. There we see that nice break. That's a lot of action. Made the corner ball. One coming around. 3 rails towards the middle of the table. He's got an open shot on the 3. And that spells trouble. The only tricky thing is he has to shoot over the 6. Must worry a little bit where he puts his hand. He's got to get over the 8. Delicate. And he has to get away from the side rail. So first towards the left side rail and then towards the right side rail. So this is a draw shot with some left spin. Left spin there, you see, to straighten it out again. Just bounced enough. Still in good position. You can play this 2 rails again to kill the speed somewhat. If you would roll this in and you're playing on a bouncier table, big risk, you're coming way past the side pockets. I think with the 2 railer you can kill the speed just a bit more and come in between the sides for a straight-in shot on the 4. Let's find out. If he's straight in on the 4, then all the work is done. Then it's stop on the 4, stop on the 5. And he's in great position. See, there's the 2 railer. That bottom cushion is bouncing really a lot. Way more than the sides. You could clearly see that. He's still in good line. Just draw this softly in. And that's what he wants. He wants to get that quick lead. Put me under pressure. It's a race to 9. Jumping into a 3-1 lead with a nice break and run. That's what these players are looking for nowadays. It's not unusual to see matches where there's 5, 6 break and runs and maybe about 8 to 10 break and runs in total. That's, I would say, about an average now. If you want to win these tournaments, these Euro Tours, you really have to be productive on your break. Break and running 5. Ooh, looky here. Really overcooked that one. Error on Wiktor's side there. Tried to come off the rail. He could have even, if he wanted to, stay on the inside of that 7. So closer to the left side and then go bottom rail, right side rail, and then towards the 9, the left side of the 9, and play the 8 ball in the lower right. As a backup option. Could play for the bank here. Position's natural. Went for it. Missed it. And he must be very disappointed with that one. Because like I said, that early jump out of the gate is of course a big bonus. Thin cut on this 7. 1 tip of right spin to stay away from coming directly to the 8. There you see the danger. If I would have hit that without spin, would have come awfully close to contacting the 8. Made the ball once again. Not out of the woods yet. Selecting to play this one with a tip of inside. So again, right spin, playing 2 rails, 1, 2, and playing towards the middle of the table where all the room is and the freedom to make this very makeable 9 ball now for a 2-2 score. And I'm very relieved, of course, with that opportunity that presented itself. That means that I have the upper hand now with breaking and trying to jump into the lead. Making a bunch of balls on the break. 4 balls actually. Still a tricky little shot on the 3, because if you just roll this ball in, big chance is that you're going to contact the 9, or maybe off the second rail potentially get behind the 6. So you have to play this with some outside spin, tip of left, and that was not the best effort. I am really disgusted with missing that ball. Didn't really like the angle that I had. And looking back on that shot, I feel I hit it a bit too hard. Didn't need to hit it that hard. See, that's with the overhead cam. You can see the angles that present itself much better. And you see the momentum zigzagging. Now it's Wiktor back in the delightful area mentally. Could have been down 3-2 easily, and now he's running out for a 3-2 lead. So that's the tough part with 9-ball sometimes, players, is these mental swings where you think you're cruising along, and all of a sudden, for example, Wiktor trying to make 3-1, instead it's 2-2, and your opponent is running out to make it 3-2 to him instead of you being up 3-1. And those mental blows, those are the ones you have to be able to take on the chin and put away quick if you want to win these tournaments. And even just a match for that matter. You have to be mentally tough in this game to overcome the rolls, the errors, the things that potentially can happen in a match. 3-2, Wiktor Zielinski. Table's breaking good from that player's left side, right side on the screen. See, nice break by Vic. Great action, makes the 9. And you see now I'm really sick because I had a chance to go 3-2, and now I'm 4-2 behind in a heartbeat. Here we see Blue Diamond by Longoni. Super quality chalk. I've been playing with that for over 15 years. Back to the match. Made the corner ball. One got a little bit too much speed. And the cue ball drew away slightly. That means I have to play defense now. Here again a nice example of a split shot option. I can't really bank this 1 ball, stop my cue ball and send the 1 towards the 9, for example, because the 2 and the 3 are in the way. But if I hit this 1 ball on the right side, play with some nice right spin, I can send the cue ball towards the 4 and the 1 ball towards the line on the left, the kitchen line. So that way I can use 3 blockers to hook Wiktor and put him in trouble. Just trying to feel the speed of both balls. That's the big thing here. Because like we saw, that rail's pretty bouncy. I'm playing that ball in between the 2 and 3. Interesting. With some inside spin. I think what I was afraid of is to leave him a pretty easy either 1 rail kick or a 2 rail kick. So I wanted to create more separation and get closer on top of one of these balls and make the kick shot lengthier and not give him an option to use the 2-3-4 with a kick shot down table. Has to jump this, but has to also draw it, otherwise he's behind the 9. Draw didn't take. So they're a good example of sometimes just jumping the ball in is not enough. Especially for amateur players. You would think I made a great shot, but you didn't see the risk that was right there in front of you. So always try to think a step ahead. Also for your push outs, if you're in a jump shot situation, what is there to be gained if you do go for the jump? Is the position automatic? Just making the ball and then having to play a super tough safety, then maybe the percentages are not really in your favor and you should give it back, for example. Here, it looks like Wiktor's going to jump again, and he's looking at a jump safe. If he catches the 2 on his left side, about half the ball, the 2 ball will go in and out of the kitchen, and he can really nicely kill the speed of the cue ball and land it there under those balls. Great shot. 2 ball went close to the corner. What happened? We still can't figure it out. Ooh, that ball hung up. So I got a chance now. Great example though of that jump safe. I have a nice YouTube tutorial about that. Jump safety, that shot comes up all the time. No luck. Just hit it half ball with some outside spin, left spin in that case, and that cue ball just wants to go to that bottom rail. This one is super tough in its own rights because that 9 ball's there. I have to hit it thin, tip of spin there, and come around the 9. That's the big key. See, with those balls hanging in the pocket, that cue ball always just wants to stay close to that rail. It's never easy to get it away and nicely into the open. Have to really be careful. I just have enough angle. Looking at my option here, the positional side. I want to go 2 rails, I think. Using the bottom rail and the side rail just to get the speed easier on the cue ball instead of just rolling this ball in. 1, 2. Bit too hard than I wanted because now I have to go away from the position on the 5 and back towards it. So kind of where the cue ball is now, then slightly more down table towards the 8. So 2 rails, I think with a lot of spin, left spin, about 10 o'clock on the cue ball, if it was a clock. Coming towards the 8, and from there it's all speed control because you don't want to hook yourself. Here it comes. Pretty decent. Have to take care of this 6 ball now. I'm gonna run into it. So I'm gonna look at it. How thick am I gonna hit this? If I just roll it in, I'm gonna hit it thick enough that the 6 is going to the middle diamond and the cue ball stays right there, so I won't have a shot. So my thinking is, if I draw off of this 6, if I draw it, the 6 is still going there, but then the cue ball is going slightly to the right. And therefore, if the 6 bounces off again just lightly, like that, then I'm going to have a shot on the 6. I was hoping that the cue ball would go even more to the right, but this is playable. With some low left, I can go around the 8 now, 2 rails, back towards the middle of the table and place 2 stop shots. Woo, bouncy rail, executed that a bit poorly and I'm in trouble now. Not happy with that shot at all. Grabbed too much spin. I can make it here in the low left. Want to avoid contact with the 9 and draw in and out of the kitchen. Not fully comfortable yet in this match. Made a few positional errors. Big shot here because I don't want to fall behind 5-2. This is to make it 4-3. There, missing the contact with the 9, going nicely around. Good recovery shot. Made life a lot harder, but that's sometimes how it goes. And back on the board. for 4-3. But I still am one break behind. If it was a tennis match, Wiktor still, if he keeps breaking and running out, there's no way I can win this match. So I have to break his break, sort of speak. No shot on the 2. Wiktor has to play defense, unless he wants to bank the 2 and go in between the 5-9 and back up table for the 3. Not easy, but if he's feeling it, offensive opportunity. However, I don't think that's really a good shot at this moment. He has a safety where he sends the 2 ball back into the kitchen there and play for the 7. That's a good shot, good speed. I think he's got the hook. I have to kick at this either 1 rail or 2 rails. If you go 1 rail on this shot, you have a choice of rails to choose from actually. But the 1 railer, I was thinking if I hit the middle diamond on this left rail and I hit it full in the face, the 2 ball actually has a chance to go in between the 3-4 and under the 7-9. However, you gotta hit it super square. To make the ball with this one, it's laying on that 3rd diamond and 3rd diamond line. Nice kicking system. I have to adjust about 1 diamond higher with running English. Look at that. Made the ball. But I got a little unlucky there. Kissed that 6 and ended up behind this 5 ball. Another mental body blow at that stage of the match. Can't really jump this one. It's so close. I'm looking at that jump safe that Wiktor played. Maybe this time on the right side of the 3. Or try to go for it on the right corner pocket perhaps. Very tough jump. Looking back at it here on the screen, this is super close to this 5. That way I have to elevate a lot to get over the ball, and that's going to reduce the amount of speed and energy I can put into this 3 ball and what's left on the cue ball. The higher the hop, the less speed you can play with after you get over that ball. If you don't have to elevate that much, you can hit it harder or further, I should say, and then create a lot of separation. Yeah, looking back at it, that was not the right play. I think I should have kicked that ball and take my chances with potentially a firmer kick. Interesting selection here. In my mind, I would put the 3 ball towards the right center and lay the cue ball on the rail there, on the right long rail, and that way I can naturally go back towards the 5. Wiktor's electing to play it off 2 rails now, side rail, not a big thing. Just a little position play analysis. Put himself way too straight in on this 5. Has to be satisfied now with just staying on that side rail with the cue ball. Can still come a little forward or backwards, so he can use the rail now to come back out instead of just having to play it forward. That way he can play the 7 now in the side pocket and put himself back in position. Elevating slightly. Not quite sure why that was necessary. Maybe put a bit of left spin on it, which would make the shot much harder. He's going to play this one in the corner because then he can hold it nicely for the 9 in the side. And run out for a 5-3 commanding lead in this match. Pro Star tables, also by Longoni. I have one here at home. Plays like a charm. Really enjoy it. I've had it for many years now. So check that out. Nice break there. One in the side. Corner ball, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. I have a shot on the 2. I can roll this forward. Big key is, can I get a good angle on the 3 to get me towards the 4? Don't want to come off this left side rail. If I'm straight in, that means I'm in a slightly in trouble position-wise. Checking out my options. Desperately need to win this rack. Otherwise the deficit is going to be too big. I was looking to play the 3 in the side, past the 7. That wasn't that delicious. So opting to draw this now in between the 7, 8 and back over. Kind of where the 3 is now, just slightly further. Just a draw shot, maybe one tip of right, boom. Ooh, just enough. Taking advantage there of the bounce your rails. That way you don't have to hit that shot too hard. Let the rails help you. This one with a bit of low right. And again, options. I believe the angle is such that I can draw towards that left side pocket just a bit further and play the 7 in that right side. Good speed and alignment there. Putting me back in good position. Just roll this in or just stun it slightly over. And draw this up for the 9 for a break and run to make it 4-5. And being back in the match. So anytime you do that, you're still in the hunt, because the breaker now, when he slips one time, you can really put the hammer down, tie the match up and take control by winning the next game. So if you're having a 5-3 lead, you still have to be very aware that doesn't mean that much at that moment in the match. Wiktor making a ball, hit it slightly too thin, but can play a good safety now. Many nice options. You can use that 5 to roll on 2. That's what he's looking at, but he's afraid that the 2 is going to bounce out again. But I think that's still the shot to play, unless what he can also do is just stop the cue ball and bank the 2 to the left side rail, the opposite side rail, and then back all the way over again, using the 5, 7, 4 as blockers, if that's available to him. Otherwise, I would just roll this right on top of the 5. And putting all your eggs into that basket. Ignore the 2 ball sometimes, but that's hard to do mentally. See, now he's looking at that wall. 5, 7, 4. Hitting the 2 a bit harder. If he's going slightly lower with the cue ball, that means he has to cut it just a millimeter more to his left. That means the 2 is going to go slightly higher. But the good thing with that shot is he can bank it all the way under the 3. And then back out again. See, that's what he's looking at. Where's the 2 going to end up? I don't think he's looking at a push out there. Definitely not. He's looking at where he can place the 2. That's the key here. Make it super hard. Make the jump super hard at least. See, he's going for big separation. 1, 2. That 2 is going way more down than he wanted. And he didn't get that speed in that 2 that he needed. That 2 needed to go way more to his left again. Hard to see if I can hit the 2 straight on. Even if so, very tough safety, because there's nothing really natural about it. I have to play it softly to use the 3. Try to split those balls again. 2 to the right, cue ball to the left with just a tip of left spin perhaps. Another thing that's maybe optional is a kick from behind on the 2 if I can get behind, or if I can avoid that 3. Also not easy. And then with some right spin, kick it, try to stop the cue ball and send the 2 under the 9 off the rail right before the side pocket, the right side pocket. I think that's what I'm playing. Yes, boom. Try to play a bit sharper, but the 3 had me there because I couldn't go more to the left and come in at a sharper angle. That meant that the 2 never had a chance to really come in front of the side. That means that Wiktor now has a shot on the 2. Tough little safety there. Interesting positional shot here. You think, why not just make it and play towards the middle, but then he has to shoot a 3-6. And if he can't control the cue ball very well, then he's in trouble. So he's trying to play it. Oh, tried to play around something. Tough to figure out. He put a lot of spin on it. The cue ball was spinning a lot. But shot got away from him. I have about a half a pocket on this 2 ball, I remember. And the question is, am I going to play the 2 and then the 3-6 from where the 2 is, if I play a stop shot? Or am I going to play a combo now and hope that the 2 is coming back off the rail and give me a shot and not hook me behind the 3? So it's decision time, and I like the 3-6 angle better. So I'm going for this half pocket hit. Just composing myself. Sometimes you really have to commit to that choice. Your brain can play a trick on you. Like, yeah, but that other option is also available. No, you really have to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to execute. So the 3-6 it was, not the 2-6. 4 passes the 7. So even if I end up straight in now, I don't have to do any Houdini magic show stuff for the 4 in the side. I can use the left side rail now for the 4 in this corner. So just draw this in with a little bit of left. Just hug the cushion and come slightly away from it. That's good enough. Personal preference here. I like to just stun it over towards the middle of the table. Some players like to draw it back for the side. I think if you want to make the pocket play a bit bigger, there, you just stun it over. And from here it's stop, 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 basically. Stay down on this. Coming off the rail. And there you see a good example. Wiktor was up 5-3. Full command of that match. But a break and run. And then a slight safety or pocketing error makes it 5-5. Nice Giotto Florencia bags. Also great leather cases by Longoni. Go check those out if you're looking for a new case. Again, just like I said actually, 5-3, break and run, 5-4, steal the next game, 5-5, and now a chance to go 6-5, and then I'm the one who's having the upper hand in the break and keeping control of the match statistics. Then Wiktor has to chase, so to speak, to win the match. He has to break my break. So I just want to draw this ball to play for the 3 in the side. Almost straight in, actually good angle. I can follow this ball forward. Past the 7. I can shoot the 6 in the side or in the top left corner. So the balls are laying really nicely connected. If I can stay on the right side on the screen of the 5, I can draw naturally towards the 6. So here, one rail up, bottom rail, kind of where the cue ball is now, maybe a ball more to our left. That would be a great angle to play for the 6. Very nice layout. Here it comes. Everything's nicely connected. Just stay composed. If you take care of Whitey, is the old saying, Whitey will take care of you. And Whitey meaning the cue ball, of course. I think the mindset here is I'm fairly straight in. I'm afraid that the point is going to come into play, so I'm playing a stop shot. I'm playing it into the corner. The shot into the side was too close. And this was my goal, actually, to play the 7 in the side and just come in and out of the kitchen. This is actually, I find, a high percentage play, because trying to get perfect on that 7 and then ending up with the wrong angle, you always end up straight. And by giving yourself this angle, you're always coming in and out of the kitchen guaranteed. So the angle's a bit more severe, but it's a guaranteed angle. And one more shot on the 9 to take a 6-5 lead from being 5-3 down. Let's find out how Wiktor's going to respond with this following break. Nicely struck. A lot of good action. Can he squeeze by that 6? I believe he can. Big shot on this 2. And once again, also has to negotiate the 4, kind of like the 3 ball I had myself earlier on in the match on 2-1. Has to make a decision. Are you going to run into the 4 ball? Are you going to play with a bit of spin? Are you going to play above it, into it? These shots are very deceiving. And because you maybe have to put a slight amount of spin on it, they become certainly very missable. So he's playing above the 4 on purpose. Very nicely struck. It's kind of on the 50-yard line now, though. Shot in the side is tough, and the shot in the corner is also tough. But that's all he had, really. Otherwise, he had to load it up with a lot of spin, like we just spoke about, and he maybe would have missed the ball. Playing for the side. You can see him eye that side pocket, the angle, get a feel for it. Nicely drawn in, low right. But he's over the 9 now. Not an easy shot. Low left, he has to draw the ball, otherwise he can't get away from the cut shot on the 6. He wants to play towards the middle of the table. Low right. Nicely done. He's out of trouble now. He can just roll this one in or elect to go to the other side. Play both 6 and 7 in the same pocket. Personal preference. But he's out of the trouble area now. Did all the hard work. Nicely done. I think with some high and a tip of left, you can play nicely to the middle of the table here. Coming into the line of position. There it comes. And he will go off the side rail now for a straight in shot on the 9. Quick couple of racks here, these last 4. A lot of break and runs, as you see. That's very standard on the Euro Tour. Gotta get that break in order if you want to compete. 6-6. Massive break now for me, trying to get the lead again. Oh, that 8 really needs to go on the line or it's illegal. Just got there. Just got there. Didn't get really that much action on that break. Made the 1 in the side, and that was all. Got a tricky 2-7 combo. The good thing about it though is I have to cut it to make the ball. That will mean that the 2 ball is going towards the other corner pocket and the cue ball is going slightly to the left of our screen. So both balls will split away from each other, but in such a way that the next shot will be actually very tasty. So positional wise, I don't have to do much. It's all about focusing on this combo. And the tough thing is, if you have to hit this ball, this first object ball, let's call it ball number 1. If you have to cut this ball number 1, it's going to give spin to ball number 2, the 7. So that's why these combos, cut shot combos, are so tricky and deceiving. Because the friction between these balls, that really comes into play. And then you have to make a choice, am I going to hit it with some right spin, no spin? Because you have to hit it so pure and aim it very pure to keep that ball number 1 on the line that you need. There you could clearly see that separation, 2 going to the corner. Now with some high left, I can go 2 rails, bottom rail, side rail, and back towards, straight in on the 3. There it comes. That's fine. I can softly draw this in and play the 4 on the right side, and I'm in optimal shape then. So this combo was the big shot, the key shot to this rack. And this is for another break and run. I think a stop shot is sufficient. I have absolutely no problem with playing these balls in the side pocket and going 3 rails. It's very natural to go to the other side of the table with 3 rails. So side rail, bottom rail, side rail. Never be afraid to avoid that angle. This is very standard. 1, 2, 3. See, I didn't do anything really. Just natural shape. Just draw this slightly back. Don't underhit this one. Just draw back about 3 cue balls. Yep, that's fine. A lot of options here. I can cross over for the 9 low left, or stun off the rail, leave a bit higher shot. I want to get slightly closer this time. I believe going 2 rails. No, 1 rail. See, 2 rails there would have been fine also. I like to draw these balls in. Gives me I can let my stroke out a bit more and hit it slightly more accurate. For 7-6. The graphite shafts, Luna Nera, also from Longoni. We have a nice, great new addition. I've played with it a few months now. Lovely hit. Great quality. And I believe that that is an illegal break. So interesting, because my break didn't really open up and that last 8 ball just got to the line, and now Wiktor had an illegal break right after. So sometimes the table actually changes during your match. However, I'm looking that I can just not get to the thin portion of this 2 ball. What do I have? I'm looking to bank this 2 above the 6. So then the cue ball perhaps towards the 3 softly and get it above the 6 to use that wall 9-6-8, or draw it maybe towards the 7. I am having a go at it. I'm going to curve slightly around the 4 and having a cut at it. There it is. I went all offense. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I went around all those balls and landed it on a dime behind the 7. That was a heartbreaker. I can still feel that one. Oh, man. Can I jump this one? I think I can, but I mean, it was just a body blow on 7-6. You know, if you get into the open there, get on the 4. Still not out of the woods yet because of the 6 ball, but you have a chance to run out to go 8-6. Now I'm close to a 7 ball, having to jump to just get out of trouble. So mentally, that was a big one. I have to make this ball. To keep the initiative. Okay, nice, but I'm trying to hit those balls to slow the speed of the cue ball. Didn't work out. Still, I got a shot on the 4. Tough long one. Awkward bridging with that top left pocket. I have to put my hand over that. And then still, I have to do another Efren Reyes-like position shot to get great on the 6 ball. So another mental trap here. You see all these things you have to do. Like first make this tough 4 to play awkward position on the 5 for a really tough position shot to the 6. So you got to put that away one shot at a time. Stay in the moment. First things first. Make this ball. Nope. I see what I had in mind. I wanted to try and get to the other side of the 5 with some speed to give myself better options to get to the 6. I remember I was positive about that shot. I just wanted to hit it well, but the angle was so small that I had to hit it firm, missed the ball. But I remember I wasn't in a mental weak spot thinking about all the work I had to done that I just explained. It was just a missed long shot. And that happens. So Wiktor now. With a tough angle. Awkward angle on this 5. If he draws it, he could draw the cue ball on the side. If he follows it, he's got to really hit this hard to get for the 6 in the right side pocket. What does he have? Can't even bridge it well. Look how far he is away from the cue ball. That's the only thing he's got. He's gonna blast it. Use some spin. Ooh. Played for a very small window. He's disappointed, but he took a big risk there. He could have played more to the left of that 6, so towards our lower left corner, that line, and then try to cut the 6 in or bank it in. So he tried to go into a really small gap. I think a bit too risky if you look back on the shot. Still has a bank, I believe. Or, yeah, went for the bank. Don't feel he quite lined up that shot very nicely. Kind of wiggled his way into that line. Was never going to be an easy shot. Plus sometimes those cross banks, they lay at an angle where you're afraid that the ball is coming back and hit the cue ball right away. So subconsciously you start hitting it thinner to get the cue ball out of the way. That is also a thing that could have happened. Cross this over with a bit of left. Once again back towards the middle of the table. For 8-6. This match is really heating up now. Good shape on the 8. I believe just come off the rail. A lot of interesting zigzag moments, momentum swings. Wiktor was up 5-3, remember? Now 8-6 down. And it's my break. So I'm trying to close out this match with a big one. Hit them really well. Cue ball got totally kicked away, almost made the 9. A lot of drama there. If that 9 would have dropped, it would have been game over. Came within a quarter of an inch to finish it, but I'm totally hooked behind the 7 on the 2 now. I have no shot. I have to push out, and I almost won the match. So that was really a lot of drama in one swing. With a good break, actually. So I'm disgusted that I have to push out and, of course, let Wiktor to the table. So now I'm facing this momentum risk that we spoke about. That when you have that 2-game lead, you know, I have to push out, and every time you push out, the incoming player has the advantage. He can take the shot, he can give it back. He has more options than me now. Therefore, he's a favorite to win that game. Let's say Wiktor wins this game. It's 8-7. He's breaking for 8-8. That will give me only one more chance to win the match. Pushing towards the top right corner. Came awfully close to giving Wiktor a shot here. Believe it's just good enough where Wiktor now has to play a safe. Not the easiest one. He's having a look at it if he can spin it in. Otherwise, the only save he has, that's what I wanted to play for, is an up and down save. So you bank the 1 to this, or you play the 1 to this short rail and bank it back up in between the 3-6 towards the 4-7. And you hope to try and hook your man, put him frozen on the rail, give him something really tough. But I believe I almost pushed too hard where he can spin it in. But are you going to go for that shot being 8-6 down? That's the big question now. But he's thinking if I give it back, he might make it. That's the interesting thing. He's thinking, no, I'm too far away. I have to do all sorts of spin shots, low percentage things. I'm looking at that up and down save. No guarantees with this one whatsoever, but I was in a spot I had to give Wiktor something tough and then work it out myself if he would put me back in, like right here. So this is still super tricky. And see that 9 laying right there. I mean, this is one swing and it could be game over. 4-9, make the 5-6-9, 3-9 even if you get under it. It could be over quick. So this is a monster important save. You kind of want to bounce off the side rail with the cue ball, so you can get towards the middle diamond there on the short rail where the plaque is and use that 6 ball. If you hit it super good. See, that is not bad at all. I kind of got away with it slightly. Speed and direction were good. I used the 5 and the 6 there. I hooked Wiktor and I'm feeling pretty good in the chair now. The kick is tough. He can jump it, but he can see about 10% of this 2 ball on his right side. So I'm thinking I'm definitely coming back to the table here. Played the percentages, played a nice save. You're thinking in the chair this could get rewarded. He's having a whack at this jump. What on earth can he do with this? Woo! Of course, I remembered that shot My lord, if I look back at it, that is still unbelievable. I was in the chair like, there is no way, kid. You can see 10%, the only 10% he could see was exactly the part that if he hits it, he makes the ball, blasts over the 5, cuts it in, goes 4 rails around. What a shot. Ends up perfect on the 3, still far distance, but I mean, that is really got to give him a boost. Ooh. Overhit that one slightly. Not even slightly, overhit that by about 20 centimeters. Are you going to go for the cut? Are you going to go for the carrot on the 9? Did it get thicker? I think you got to try and cut this ball in. Go 2 rails, side rail, and under the 5 for either in the corner or in the side pocket. Here comes. Great shot. This one's really heating up. Just make the ball, just draw it back to where he is now, 6-9 to the side. That's the way it lays, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. Interesting. I think that wasn't even necessary to just make the 6-9. However, nothing wrong with this. Just one more shot to be made. Or 7-8, and then Wiktor's breaking to really put the heat on. There it goes, elementary shot on the 9. He's really got to be buzzing after that jump shot. 8-7. Here we go, Longoni cues. Look at these nice designs. They've been around forever. Great people, great quality, take a lot of pride in their work. Look, nice break, nice hit. Oh, and he got rewarded with a shot on the 2. The layout is not easy though. There's a potential combo, like the 2-7 I had a few racks back. The 7's still laying awkward. It goes in the right side and in the top right corner. But if you would play a combination on the 3-5, it means you have to play that position from the 4. So nothing easy about this rack. Going for draw shot. Side rail. Didn't want to play the combo. Which I can understand positional wise, a smart move, because 5 to the 7 is much easier than 4 to the 7. And if he can run this rack, Bull fans, I've just played a good save. Had to watch him jump it in. I'm up 8-6, getting ready to close the match. And if he runs this out, I got to break and run or stay in control on 8-8 to close it out. So the pressure is really on then. Nice couple of shots here from Wiktor. 2 to the 3, 3 to the 4. Big shots coming up, kind of now positional wise, but then the 5 to the 7, that's the key ball, in my opinion. See, because what are you going to choose here? Are you going to choose to play it in the side? That means you have to stay above the 7 where you can go all the way around. Like 4 rails, side rail, bottom rail, side rail, back into the kitchen. Or are you going to play it for the corner? He's going around it. It goes into the low left where we are watching. Very nicely done there. Got away from that rail, gave himself an angle so he can just draw off the side rail now. Whoop. Don't get straight in. Just got enough angle. And he made quick work of this tricky rack to make it 8-8 and completely reverse the pressure in just about 7 minutes from making that amazing jump shot. So you got to take your hat off here. He's trying everything he can to win this match. 8-8 now. And who's that guy? That's my personal Longoni line with the flames, the sparkle. Check that one out too. Love those cues. Final break, ladies and gentlemen. Really focusing hard to get a good hit in there. Hit him well, made 2 balls. Cue ball got kicked out. No shot. So Wiktor's got to be slightly happy. He's coming back to the table because I can't get from this 3 to this 4 unless I do something crazy now, which is ill-advised at this stage. I have to load it up with so much spin. It's just not a clever shot. However, what I have here, if I play this 3 towards this 3rd diamond, right there where I was looking at, I can bank it in between the 7 and 9 and lay it on the middle diamond. With some high right spin, I can send the cue ball back under the 5. So I can use a nice little wall. This is all speed and a slight amount of spin. Mostly speed. There comes the cue ball. There comes the 3. Boom. I am super happy with that shot at that moment. However, walking back to my chair, I saw that Wiktor now has a 2-rail kick and the 3 is laying in such a position that if he catches this one well, that means full in the face, I could be right behind that same 9-6-8 wall. If he catches it there, I'm still not out of trouble. So I'm kind of biting my fingernails here. I see the trouble, but I have to be patient and see how this is going to play out. I know I'm coming back to the table, unless he gets lucky and kicks it in. But I have to mentally get ready for something tough. That's the mental toughness portion of these big matches, these big tournaments. You got to be ready to execute something tough at a big, tough moment. And the more you put yourself in those spots, here it comes. Oh, the more you put yourself in those positions, the better you're gonna do. See, this is not easy, and I recently made a YouTube video about this shot. I can't follow this ball because this 6-9 is laying really in the way. I could hit the 5 coming out of that kitchen. If I draw it smoothly, I can draw this cue ball straight in the side. But I spotted a power draw shot. If you hit this ball harder, the draw needs a little time to grab. And that means it's going to go forward for just a split second before grabbing the energy. So you change the angle of the shot. So that way, if you blast it in with draw and low right, draw and right I should say, you can change the angle going in front of the side, then the energy grabs and it comes all the way back towards the 7 or that side rail. So this is just going all out. No fear, just go. Boom. That was the big shot. I lost 2 big games, made a nice safety, and then Vic gave me this one. I said to myself, I'm going down swinging. I'm not going to duck on this shot. I'm going to try and win it. Here, in my mind, I'm going 2 rails towards the 5, and I want to try and give myself an angle, a 1 rail angle, just coming off the short rail and back out. However, it didn't play out like that. I gave myself too much angle. So I'm a bit fearful on this shot because the rails are bouncy. I have to hit this pretty smooth, 2 rails to the right side there, bottom side rail, and then towards the middle. But I don't want to hook myself on the 8. So I got to hit it hard enough to get into the open, soft enough to give myself a nice shot. So I'm kind of on the 50-yard line there, overcooked it about 20 centimeters, and this is still not an easy one. If I just pocket this ball, I might scratch directly in the side. I have to put a little bit of left spin on this, going 2 rails, and then put myself fairly close to the kitchen line. for a longer shot on the 7. Taking my time here. Wiping the cue. If I can execute this one, should be in a better position for the 7. The heat is really on at this moment. I'm looking to swing it around. 3 rails. Didn't really like that angle too much. Side pocket was a bit too large. So I'm playing the more conservative 2 rail side to side with a tip of outside. Made it. Not hard enough to just stop the 7. So again, one more shot. With a little bit of left, I want to go 2 rails and lay it on that side rail for the 8 in the left side pocket. Nice intense pressure moments here. Here it comes. Oh, again, just a little bit too hard. When the pressure's on and those rails are bouncy, it is really tough to get that cue ball in optimal position. I can just draw in front of this 9 and back out with low left. 8 in the side. Just cleared the 9, coming back out. And that could be the finish line. One more nice punchy shot for the victory. There it was. Hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. Presented again by Billiard Network. Great quality videos. Check out some of the other matches right here.